are back at it again. Hold on. I messed up with my whatchamacallit, my sound effects, but don't worry.
Ring the alarm, I got a bomb.
There we go.
I got a bomb.
We back.
Ring the alarm, I got a bomb. Ring the alarm, I got a bomb.
So, coming to you live from downtown Toronto. It's one of those, our only one and only show. We're gonna do it again and again and again and again. This is the Dr. IBZ show, the IVP with Dr. IBZ. Too much abbreviations for me. I kind of messed that up. Anyways, let's do this. Let's go. So once again, we're podding before work. Now, I was supposed to, like, you know when you get called in earlier, right? So they called me in a little bit earlier, and I had to tell them, like, yo, boss, I'm gonna have to do something quick, and I'm gonna be a little bit late. So in my head, I thought I calculated it properly, but I didn't. So I'm still gonna be early, but I'm gonna be late at the same time. And I'm doing this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm like, my viewership is not amazing like that. My numbers ain't up like that. My numbers are alright. But these are the things that you do. You know what I mean? Because I want this to keep going. I don't want to be one of those days where, like, I'm podding, and then today I skip it for work, and then turns out I'm not even gonna, I'm not gonna really be there. I'm not saying I'm not gonna be there. I'm saying if anything happens, God forbid, if anything happens, right? I know that I'm still gonna be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather keep this as a priority in terms of making sure I get 2 out every week. One on either a Sunday, Monday, right? Or a Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Thursday, so you already know what we got to do. Anyways, that's enough about me explaining myself, as in, like, why it sounds like I'm talking a bit fast, even though I'm still going to do the full hour, right? But it's just a little thing to keep in mind. You know what I'm saying? Man's, like, I'm doing this so that eventually I get enough practice. I'm good at this. I can go to other podcasts. I can do my thing on other podcasts. I can start another podcast. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I want to focus on this. So that's all I'm saying. And also, when you get called in early and you're like, shit, I had shit that I wanted to do before work, but I know they need me. They need my help. So it's like, hey, Tupac's here. It's like, hey, I don't mind helping you niggas. However, I have to do this podcast before, so I can reach an extra half an hour early. And that was my mistake. I miscalculated. I told them 15 minutes, but I actually need an extra half an hour. So that means I'm going to be half an hour early after the half an hour that they wanted me to, before, like, after, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm rambling right now. Anyways, how are we going to start the pod? Well, Quiet on Set came out. The Quiet on Set doc. This documentary, I'm only on episode 3. Yeah, episode 3 right now. Hey, yo, this doc is crazy. These are one of the craziest documentaries that I've ever watched in a long time, right? These are the docs that make you wonder, that make you go, what in the hell were they doing at Nickelodeon? Now, from what I know, right, at Nickelodeon, I used to watch this show called All That, right? The theme song, I think Tory Lanez did a remix. Tory Lanez even did a remix. He sampled that song and did his own version of that song, right? So in my head, All That, loved it. Love watching All That, love doing everything about All That. I used to I think they brought it back. So I remember, from what I remember, the late 90s, they had all that, but they had it with Keenan and Kel. They had those people there. And then they brought it back, right? So when they brought it back, they had all these other different characters, and I remember all those characters. There was one black kid. There's two black kids, one male, one female. I remember the girl because she ended up having like a career, like she ended up like being in other stuff. The guy, he got damaged so bad, so incredibly bad. Like when they did there was a sketch they did called Little Fetus, right? So they needed a rapping baby. Now obviously this is the early 2009. They're gonna make the black kid do it. Obviously. Now in hindsight, you can be like, you guys should have got a black kid and a white kid to do it, so that way it's a little bit, it doesn't seem like, you guys just made the black kid do the hip hop shit. But like in hindsight, like I'm not even here to like defend Nickelodeon. I'm here to look at it like just in hindsight. Hey yo, a lot of like white execs, they did not get it at that moment in time. Anything hip hop, they're gonna throw in, oh yo, you're black, boom. All right, we need you for this hip hop scene. That's like we're gonna do a sketch about, I don't know, Chinese culture. We're gonna get a Chinese person or an Asian person to do it because it's gonna be a little bit more authentic, might be a little bit more funny, right? I'm just saying in terms of these Hollywood execs, right? So I can see why they got the black kid to do it. Now, where it got effed up, because there's no, like, they did a lot of typecasting back in the days. Like, let's not look at it like how it is now, right? And even now they still do typecasting, but they're a little bit more like on the subtle side of it. But anyways, so typecasting. Hayes' Little Fetus, one of the execs says, let's use charcoal for his skin. And the kid, it messed with the kid's head because the kid is at least like, I think these kids were like 12, 13. So these kids are comprehending everything. They can read scripts. They can come up with ideas and come up to the execs with an idea. You have an idea for a skit. Like, these are young comedians, like children that are comedians, but they're funny. They have to audition for this shit. If you weren't talented or like had a talent bone in your body, you would not probably be on that set. So these kids are talented. They're old enough. They're not like six years old, you know? They're like 10, 12. So you can get away with certain things, right? In terms of like, you can still push the kiddie shit, but you can still give them like a kid like they had like sketches where there'd be a kid version of a talk show. And instead of them making it like, I don't know, like, you know, like back in the day talk shows, niggas smoking, having a drink, whatever. Like them, they're having candy and coffee and they're running around and, you know, just that type of shit. Anyways, so the Little Fetus, one of the execs is like, yo, let's make his skin charcoal. That messed him up. He felt very bad. He was crying. He was damn near tearing up because he's like, charcoal, like I'm not even. And here's another thing. That exec, you are stupid, and I hope you never work in Hollywood. He probably still works in Hollywood, but like for you to say some shit like that, like you're dumb. You're stupid for saying that. Black is a shade. Charcoal is black. Black is a shade. Now, if you're talking about race black, I don't even know why they call us black when we're brown. If you really think about it, we're brown. We're different shades of brown. Literally, even the darkest person you know, it's a dark brown. So I don't get the whole black thing. That's me personally. I don't get it. You walk up to like a brown guy that's darker than you. He'll tell you that he's the brown guy and you're the black guy, even though he's darker than you. Certain things that I don't fucking understand. So when it comes down to like that type, because if we're, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. So for you to say charcoal, bro, like how insensitive do you have to be to say that to a kid? Thinking the kid, he'll whatever. Like he'll be fine. Like, no, you don't do that to children, my G. These are children. Anyways, I'm trying to find my my soundboard. There we go.
Dude, what the fuck?
So he thought that was okay. Then you had I'm gonna be paraphrasing, but Dan Schneider was basically, you know the fat kid that was bullied as a fat kid growing up. He used to get typed. So he used to be an actor, but whenever he would do, I forgot what show he was on. He was on a show, and the show he was on, he would get typecasted as the fat, funny black person. Not black person, the fat, funny white guy, right? Actually has nothing to do with race, because it's just a white TV show is just a show, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so basically, I know that was delayed, but I had to play it. Anyways, so yeah, so he got typecasted. So when he pitched, I think he pitched a show called All That with someone else. So he basically created a show. He's like, yo, what if it was Saturday Night Live, but with kids? Genius idea, by the way. Like, let's not get the misconstrued. Me as a kid watching it, I was like, I wanted to be on that show. It was one of those shows where, as a kid, you even wanted to be on that show. So I'm not here to get shit misconstrued and to be like, man, they was wrong for that. Man, they shouldn't have done that. Man, no, I'm not. In terms of like they shouldn't have done a show like that, no. Because back in the day, they had tons of shows with children in it. So we can't. And the shows that we had with, like, when people start breaking down these shows, like Barney, there's a lot of these shows that have children in it that were very weird, but we're going to get into it right now. So Dan Schneider was basically the type of guy where he had this very weird animosity towards women. So whenever he would hire women, he would make the women share a salary, but then he would hire a new dude, the white guy, younger than them too. He would get a full salary, paid on time and everything, wouldn't have to work for free like those other girls, those other women. And then he would promote them, and basically it's like a boys club. The men could do whatever they want. They wouldn't get in trouble that as much. But the women, the moment they did something, they would get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So Dan Schneider was like that. One of the female writers went to a concert, went to a wedding, and did some other shit. She got fired for it. Because apparently, whenever Dan needs you, you're supposed to be there. And if Dan calls you to the office, it was on some like Harvey, you know what I mean? But that type of ish. Now, I only watched 3 episodes. This is episode 1 I'm giving you guys. Episode 2 is when they started introducing. So first they made Dan Schneider to be a misogynistic asshole. That's how they painted him as in the first episode. My nigga. The second episode, they introduced Amanda Bynes. When they introduced Amanda Bynes, now of course they couldn't get Amanda Bynes to do the show, but growing up, growing up I always thought Amanda Bynes was like, I used to watch the show, used to think she was talented as hell. I'm like, oh shit, look how young she is. And she's killing it, she's talented, she's hilarious, all of the above. I was even watching her movies. The What I Like About You, the one where What I Like About You was a show. I was watching that show. Because WB, at the time, WB had a lot of black shows. And then they would have like shows like What I Like About You and all that type of stuff. But Dan Schneider went from all that to What I Like About You or whatever. And then somewhere along the line, I think What I Like About You didn't really pop off, so he kind of went back to Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon was like, yo, pull up, come back. So Amanda Bynes, I don't know what Dan Schneider did, but Dan Schneider did some shit that fucked with Amanda, fucked her whole life up, basically. I think they're being like, it just basically messed up the family dynamic and everything. I don't know what they apparently like. Dan would be with her by himself, just her and unsupervised, just them two pitching ideas and just weirdo behavior like that. And then apparently when Amanda turned a certain age and like she ran to Dan for some shit, and then Dan was like, "Oh, you can, you know, if you want, you can like, you can divorce your parents," shit like that. You know what I mean? It was getting to those murky waters. Like, "Oh, you can divorce your parents. You don't really have to." That are like conservatorship, I think, whatever the case may be. Let's just say, I don't think they really went in depth into the Amanda Bynes thing, because I think they're gonna keep, because this is just the first few episodes. I think they're gonna keep going in depth in that, in the Amanda Bynes thing stuff. But from what I understood was, Dan was a creep, was creeping, was always asked for massages. He was being a weird exec basically around the kids. Doing like, you know, when you raise your eyebrows, like what is, like that type of shit around the kids, right? So I could totally understand why there's this whole, like, let's put it like this, okay? If you go on Twitter, because I'm still calling it Twitter, these guys have like justice for Amanda Bynes, right? Yeah, see, the moment I put in justice. So it's very crazy because she has struggled with drug and alcohol abuse, many run-ins with the law. This is after, right? She's been diagnosed as bipolar, alternate disorder of abuse, particularly sexual abuse, and her trauma-based mind control. Okay, never mind. These guys said MK Ultra. But once I see MK Ultra, I'm like, all right, I'm leaving this shit alone, because this is not, I'm not saying this is not my field, one. Two, I don't really, like, I think it's been proven, but I need to do more research on that shit. I don't like talking about shit I have not even a little lick of information on, right? But let's just put it like this. If you want to put two and two together, Amanda Bynes, Dan Schneider, some shit happened, and it messed her up to this day. That whole Nickelodeon shit, the What I Like About You shit, and apparently, like, it destroyed everything, right? Then you hear about a couple of the people that worked on set on All That, and I think it was All That, and like some comedic coach dialogue, whatever the case. I don't know. I think it was just All That and another show. One of the guys named Brian Peck. First off, there's two niggas. There's three of them. I think one of them was already convicted, but was still working with Nickelodeon. A convicted, like, child prawn type guy. And then you had a next guy. He got convicted, and everyone's like, oh, damn, he was a nice guy. But he got convicted for having the shit on his computer, but while he was working. One guy already got convicted, but ended up getting a job there, which is weird. And one, if I'm not mistaken, and then one guy had all the shit in his computer and they booked him for it. He went to jail, right? Then you have this guy named Brian Peck, okay? Now, the one thing that I do not understand is Brian Peck. This dude had assigned John Wayne Gacy. If you don't know John Wayne Gacy is, he's a serial killer. He had assigned John Wayne Gacy something. I forgot what it was. A poster, some shit like that. And he was pen pals. Pen pals, meaning he's writing to this nigga John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy was a pedophile as well. He's a serial killer and a pedophile. So, if Brian Peck is pen pals with him, no one said anything? No one thought that was weird? No one thought that this guy shouldn't be working with children? And he was the pickle guy? Now it looks even weirder. He was the pickle guy. He was the dude that would always carry a bunch of pickles. Right? And then there was a joke where Ray Romano got locked out of his room. He was hungry. He wanted food. The pickle guy comes up and puts a pickle inside of the door where the door's supposed to be, where the door handle's supposed to be, puts a pickle inside of there and gives to Ray Romano. Bruh, that was the most pausiest of pauses ever. I was like, yo, pause. Pause. That was hella, like, what are we doing here? That is hella fruity. Because why? Not fruity, my bad. Well, is a cucumber a fruit? Because anything with seeds inside is considered a fruit, right? So is cucumber considered a fruit? So, you know what I'm saying? It's just safe. Try to save myself from that bullshit. Anyways, but I'm not saying it's fruit. I'm saying it's you're sexualizing. You're making sexualized jokes on a kids' TV show is what I'm saying. That's where we're getting into these little murky, disgusting waters where we shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, what the fuck?
Literally. So that happened. Then when Brian got convicted, they're like, oh, Brian got convicted, Then the third episode, boom. Because everyone was like, wait, Brian got convicted and he got convicted of doing it to someone on set. And everyone's like, wait, on set? Well, that wasn't me. Who was it? Drake Bell sits down. And I went, ho, 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 ho. You mean... And this is where like shit kind of comes full circle. This guy got essayed when he was 15, 16, which messed with him. He was like, and he tried to hold it down. Like he tried not to say anything because he didn't want to ruin, I guess, Brian's career. Because it's weird when an adult tries to create an attachment so Brian pulled up as if like Brian pulled up right? And when he pulled up, he would talk to him about movies and like you just basically mentor vibes. This is in the beginning. Giving him mentor vibes. Then the man seen that Drake's parents there's friction there. And he knows that. So he did some Inception shit, whispered in the Drake's ear, like, yo, your dad's not good for you. Having a parent as a manager, he's not going to help you progress in your career, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Drake's career was amazing. Like, not amazing, but he was in a Pokemon commercial, all these commercials. He landed all that, I think, all that. Yeah, he landed all that, or The Amanda Show. I think it was The Amanda Show. Yeah, he landed The Amanda Show. Yeah, this is where because this is where the timeline's going. They're giving us a whole timeline. I don't know why they jumped to What I Like About You in episode 2, which kind of confused me a bit, but I think they only did that to show you that Dan ends up coming back to Nickelodeon after. So Dan leaves Nickelodeon and comes back. But the What I Like About You shit, I think that came out like 2001, 2002. So yeah. So Amanda Bynes she already got fucked over by Dan. That was a quick, brief one that they did, but she got fucked over by Dan, basically. Dan comes back. Brian's still there. They relaunch all that again. They get so whatever. Hold on. Let me just look this up quick. What I Like About You. Okay, I have to look this up quick, man. Wrong one. Hold on. What I Like About You show. 2002. Okay. Right? Hold on. Yeah, so to 2006. So it was a 4-year series. And during that time, so here's the thing. Yeah, so since Dan was working with another network, they didn't like Dan there. So I think they got rid of Dan somehow, but his name was still attached to it or something like that. I don't know. They got rid of him. He had to go back to Nickelodeon. So that whole thing is over with Amanda Bynes. But I don't know if he was still, I don't know yet. Maybe I have to rewatch that episode. But anyways, Drake Bell gets SA'd by Brian Peck. Now in my head, I said Brian Peck. Isn't Drake and Josh Peck? Isn't that what's his name? So I had to Google it quick to see if that's not his dad. Because I'm like, they weren't effing with each other after the show. So like, and I know Josh Peck was kind of defending Dan Schneider. So I was like, in my head, I was like, okay. But now you could see why there was a little bit of friction between Josh and Drake. Because Drake was like, yo, bro, like, these guys did this to me. I don't fuck with these guys. And Josh was like, well, I do. They gave me an opportunity. That's probably what their beef was, from what I'm thinking. Anyways, so Brian Peck ends up getting Drake to drop his dad as a manager, even though his dad was getting him gigs. His dad was getting him gigs, was doing all the legal paperwork that you need to file. His dad was the one saying, like, yo, why is Brian so close to my son? He shouldn't even be touching my son like that. Hey, my son can put that on himself. My son doesn't need help putting it on. Then one of the freaking, was it a PA or whatever? Or a DA, director's assistants, one of those producer assistants was like, oh, you must be homophobic if you don't want him touching your son because Brian's gay. And since he's gay, that's how he is. He's touchy-feely, da-da-da. Yeah, yo. Hey, yo, no one should be, I don't give a damn, I don't care. That's not an excuse. And that's, you're putting some weird energy onto gay people if you're going to say shit like that type of rhetoric. Because I've been around gay people. They're not touchy-feely around kids or around minors. They leave them the fuck alone. They educate them. They help them out if they need help. But I've never seen anything like that. Nor do I hear about anything like that. And if there is shit going on like that, I don't know and I don't want to know. Because that's just too much for me in terms of like, that's just fucked up. So for you to blame it, and that means you knew, or maybe you thought that he was just touchy-feely because no, that guy's a pedophile. He was SAing Drake Bell. And Drake Bell kept it on the lows, didn't say anything for fear of his career too. Then this is where Pandora's box got open. This is where the bag of worms got exposed. Take this in, guys. Okay? I want you guys to really comprehend what happened. So, on top of the fact, right, that he got his dad away, because Brian knew that if I can get his dad away, and Drake's dad said, yo, okay, the mom, you're gonna manage his shit now, because a parent has to manage it. Drake's like, I want mom to manage my shit now, not you, right? All right, cool. You're old enough to make your own decisions, meaning he was like 14, 15. Like he's a teenager. He's old enough to make like his own decision. Like that's what I want to do for me. Okay, cool. Right? Then gives all this shit to his mom. Now Brian is talking in the mom's ear. You get what I'm saying? So they end up being alone. He gets essayed. Drake's going through it. Drake has a girlfriend now. This is like a year later, right? Drake has a girlfriend now. He's at his girlfriend's house. Brian is ringing down his phone. Brian is ringing, a 40-something-year-old man is ringing down a 15, 16-year-old's fucking phone to tell him we had plans. Why did you flop on our plans? Because they were supposed to go somewhere, and Drake flopped and ended up going to his girlfriend's house, which is, what the fuck? Understandable. I'm going to my girl's house, bro. I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, So I didn't understand the whole, like, when they were like, oh, but anyways. So he's foul for that. Calling. So the mom is like, why is there a 40-year-old, some 40-something-year-old calling your phone? There has to be a reason. Drake, you have to tell me the truth. He's like, it's just show stuff. She goes, no. Because now she's talking. This is the first time an adult is being exposed to what's going on. So she goes, wait, hold on. This is not good. This is not cool. Nope. I'm calling the police. There's no way a 40-something-year-old should be ringing down your phone telling you we had plans, blah, blah, blah. That should not be happening. So when that shit happened, when that shit dropped, Drake went to the police. They needed evidence, but they can definitely, if a kid and a mother, and that's not her kid, she's coming up saying something's wrong, the cops are going to do something about it. And if one of those cops has a child, they're going to put their time, effort, and energy into that shit. You know what I'm saying? So what had happened was Drake was recording the whole conversation. He calls the guy. He tries to get the guy to talk about it, to confess and apologize for it. The guy confessed, apologized for it. And then right when they got what they needed, Drake's like, okay, this is over now. Brian kept saying, are we being recorded? Are we being recorded? Yeah, nigga, you're being recorded. So he ends up getting arrested, going to jail. He's done. But that affected Drake so bad to the point where he ended up kind of doing something similar, where he SA'd a minor, but right? That's where it's like, you know, when people say like people that were abused, they end up abusing others when they get older and shit. When people used to say that, I'm like, how? When you've been through some hella bullshit, and then now you're gonna put someone else through that same shit? I don't understand how you could do that. But when you see like the timeline, you know what I mean, and you were alive for it, you can kind of go, oh, I get it now. I kind of get the psychology that goes into that. But that is just hectic. So since things like that happen, and that was the end of episode 3. He gets arrested, and I think episode 4 they're gonna start getting into other stuff. I'm glued to my TV over this. I just did a whole 20-something minute convo on this topic. Now, in retrospect, to conclude, to finish this off, pause, because I've spoken a lot about this. In hindsight, a lot of these children shows, a lot of these kid shows, and just in hindsight, period, like a lot of professions where there's children involved, a lot of these motherfuckers, a lot of these guys, well, yeah, are on some like pedo shit, or on some like low key like grooming. Like it's to me, it's crazy, because there's a thin line between being a pedophile and like being like, yo, I love kids. Like, as in like, I love kids. Like, you know, like there's a thin line, my nigga. Yo, like let's like not even like, I'm only laughing out of nervousness. Like there's a thin line between like being like, I love children and pedophile. Yeah, there's a thin fucking line. First off, right? First off, if you're gonna be like this whole thing is, and I'm pretty sure nowadays they do background checks for kids television and kids shows and kids programming and all that shit. I'm pretty sure, like, for instance, on YouTube, if you want to post something that's kid related, I think it can't have like ads, or there's certain things that it can't have. I think the comments get deleted, like the comments get disabled. Like there's certain things that, because it's children, their minds are like sponges when they're young. They absorb a lot of shit. They absorb everything, and good, bad, ugly, everything. That's where childhood traumas that's where all this shit comes from, right? But to be an adult, a grown-ass man, and to purposely try to figure out a way to just get into the head of these children and then to mess up their home life. Brian Peck, you are the scum of the earth. I'm sorry. You are the worst human being that I've heard of this week. Actually, no. No. Because here's the thing, okay? I've been trying my best, okay, to hold back, okay? To hold back about certain things, okay? And this is one of the topics that I was like, yo, I'm definitely going in. Because there's just horrible people on this earth, okay? Horrible people on this earth. The first one that I'm going to show, okay? First one I'm going to show you is that there was this girl. She was mad at her baby daddy, the father of her child. She was mad at him. I don't know what it was. Maybe the nigga cheated. Who the fuck knows what it was, okay? She was mad at this nigga. Mad at this nigga. Do you know what she decided to do to this nigga? Do you know what she decided to do to this nigga? Okay, my bad. Not this nigga. This brother, because he passed away. Yeah. Do you know what she ended up doing? She made a Facebook status or a tweet saying, "Hey yo, this guy is not gonna be over here." I repeat, he's not gonna be over here, meaning she's being sarcastic, as in he's gonna be over there. She put down the addy, the low, everything, down to like the unit, like everything, the exact addy, bro, longitude and latitude type shit, dog. The coordinates for his location. She gave those up, knowing that the nigga was probably gonna be outside smoking some weed, smoking a quick blunt, just having a smoke or chilling on the porch, having a couple beers, just vibing on his phone. She went, exposed this man's location, right? And apparently he has ops, because his girl was like, yo, doesn't this man have people that he snitched on and people that da-da-da-da-da? Doesn't he have ops that da-da-da-da? Well, he's not here, da-da-da, he's not here. That's what she did. Knowing that he has enemies, knowing that people are literally probably looking at her account, waiting for her to post some shit so that they could know where this nigga's at. Do you understand what I'm saying? She posted that. They find out where this guy is. He ends up getting killed. Rest in peace. After he ends up getting killed, I think the girl got arrested. Now, yeah, you're accomplice to his murder. You expose his location with the attentions of his enemies pulling up. If I expose someone's location knowing that he has enemies and he ends up getting killed, that blood is on my hands. All I'm going to say is, your child, this woman, your child is never in their entire life. Your child is going to hate you forever. She basically said, my baby daddy, and this is how she did it. She provoked the man. My baby daddy got the weakest ops. He just keep coming home alive and untouched. Ain't he snitch on half of y'all? Ain't he rob half of y'all? Sleep emoji. Anyways, he's not located in 4250 and whatever street. I repeat, he is not. This is the same girl that someone tweeted, once I put an A and B together and you finna see the emergency room, right? And then someone put, yeah, it's gonna be a funeral. She's like, yeah, if you know, you know. So you're telling me you got cheated on, and this is one thing that people need to really understand is dealing with people that are very fucking emotional. People that are very emotional to the point that they can just snap like this. People that feel like it's easy for them to put their hands on you. Anything like that, stay away from these people. If you so happen to get one of these people pregnant by accident, nigga, figure out a way where you can get joint custody or full custody and keep your distance. Because This woman is evil. This is pure evil. First off, you hit a bee's nest, right? Ran into your house, knowing that everyone in there is allergic to bees. Ran into the house, ran out through the back door, knowing that the bees are just going to be distracted by everything else in the house, sting everybody else in there, and you're safe. That's basically what you did. And you did it on purpose. Or you got a beehive, right? You have your jacket on, you threw it in the house, you locked the house, everyone in there's dying, and then that's what you did. You're an evil motherfucker, bro. Astaghfirullah. You're evil for that. You know who else is evil? This one guy in New York. He gets released for, let me get this story straight. Because this one pissed me off too, because, men need to learn. Men need to really learn. Right? Us men, we need to learn how to handle rejection properly. Period. I'm tired of seeing these stories of men getting rejected and harming women. This one man got rejected. Right? Some drunken guy walks into a bodega. The twin sister of 19-year-old girl who was stabbed to death outside of Brooklyn Deli has recounted how she tried to protect her sibling when a drunken man became enraged that she would not follow him back on Instagram. So, a drunk guy came up to these girls. They're twins. He's trying to flirt with them. They weren't having it, but they were entertaining it a bit. She entertained it, gave the man the Instagram, right? I never knew this was a thing. But a lot of women, they give an Instagram, they give a number or a Snapchat. Most girls don't give a number. They'll give you an Instagram or a Snapchat, and they will follow you back. And then after like a couple weeks or so, they don't see you around, they'll unfollow you. If they really weren't fucking with you, they'll unfollow you. The main reasons why these things happen, the main reason is because shit like this, where a man will get rejected and then end up harming the other girl. So she ended up stabbing both of them. One of them passed away from her wounds, and the other survived. Bruh, your twin sister, and I'm pretty sure you're your twin. You do practically everything with your twin. Y'all are the same person. Maybe personality-wise, slightly different, but basically the same person, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally your other half gone. The way I see twins bond, like a twin bond is different. Like, there are twins where, like, they'll call their other twin while they're adults. And they'll feel something, they'll call their other twin, like, yo, you okay? Yo, you felt that too? Like, that type of bond is different. Different, doc. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to, like, mess with those type of bonds, bro. You know what I mean? So what she said was, I grabbed her phone and I was like, come with me. Sania. Oh, that's my grandmother's name. Yeah, Sania. Yeah, Sania and Samia. Oh man, those are pretty dope names. Sania and Samia. Those are Arab names. Damn. Sania tells the NY Post. I was like, why are you talking to that boy? She said. She said, I don't want to talk to that boy. Sania said to get him off their back. Samia decided to give her Instagram handle to the man, who relatives told the Post the girls met earlier in the evening at a local club. She said she wasn't going to follow him back. She said, that's it. She said no at that point. The man became enraged. He started to argue with the two teens and stormed out of the bodega, but came back just a few minutes later. Sania recounted. The twins then got their snack and left the store, only to find the assailant armed with a knife and the door to the bodega locked behind them. He had a knife in his hand and was saying, I'm gonna tell everyone to back up, and he pushed little Samia to the ground and he stabbed her in the neck. So, trigger warning, by the way. This man is a loser. He's a coward. He's scum of the earth. Just as much as that. The reason why I brought up two examples was to give you guys how emotional women get and how they have a disregard for life, and how emotional men get and how they will have a disregard for life. And this is all because they felt like they got hurt. You felt like you got hurt, so the main thing that you wanted to do was to cause harm onto another person. That's your fucking logic. You get where I'm coming at? Pause. You get what I'm saying? So, you got mad. Your decision was to unalive someone to get unalived. That person is gone now. Okay. You're mad. You got rejected. Do you know how many women there are out here, my nigga? You just came from a club. These girls are 19. They're probably not even supposed to be in that club. Right? 21. I'm pretty sure the age to drink is 21. Yeah. It's 21 in the States. It's not 19, it's 21. But 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they still go to the club. They just get a quick fake ID, or they get someone's ID and they roll up in there. That fake ID thing was always a thing for like 19, 20-year-olds, the fake ID shit, right? Even in Toronto, the fake ID shit was like, I think 16, 17, you'd get, 16, 17, 18, you get like a fake ID. But once you hit 18 and you kind of have a little bit of a beard and you kind of like been going to certain establishments and they've been seeing you there and you're holding down your own, they'll kind of like turn the blind eye. But it's whatever. That's illegal. Anyways. My nigga is trying to talk to 19-year-olds. Now, they didn't say how old this man was, but I'm pretty sure he's older than them. And you just came from a club. There's plenty of women that you could talk to. And hey, if you get rejected, my G, if she doesn't follow you back on Instagram, then that means, I get it. Why did she even give me the Instagram if she's not going to follow me back? But do you know how many people give out their Instagram and they don't follow the other person back? They'll give it out and they won't follow the other person back. There's a lot of girls that do that. That's one. Two, how do you expect the man to just... She's out and about. She might follow you back later. Even if she doesn't follow you back, why are you so pressed like that? That's why, like, certain men, I don't think he's been rejected before like that, or treated like that, or felt like that in his life. So his instant reaction was to do that. That to me is piss poor behavior. If you ever get to that point, I'm talking to all the men out there. If you ever get to a point with a woman and shit's looking like shit could go left, my nigga, just walk away. No matter how mad you are, walk away. Men, you should be able to walk away. Walk the fuck away. If she's grabbing you, hitting you and shit, run away. Pull a Jonathan Majors. Run the fuck away. Run away. The only reason why Jonathan Majors, bro, you even got charged with that shit is because when you put her in if you did not physically touch her at all, you would have been good. You would have still been doing Kang the Conqueror. You still would have been fine. But because you put hands on her and you try to force her in the whip, and when you force her in the whip, you know when cops say, yo, watch your head when they put you in the cop car? Even the criminals, they say, watch your head. Because if you hit your head, you get a concussion or whatever, you get hurt, they could get sued. That's why they always go, watch your head, watch your head. Jonathan Major didn't say watch your head. So she ended up hitting her head off the shits. And when he was throwing her in there, she was probably fighting back and shit, and he was forcing her in. He probably hurt her as well. Right? So that is what he got charged for. Was just putting hands on her, trying to throw her back in the whip. That's basically what he got charged for. So, my nigga, pull a Jonathan Majors, my nigga. Run the fuck away. Get out of there. When I say pull Jonathan Majors, don't put hands on her and throw her in the store, then run away. No, I'm saying just run away. Like the latter part. Run the fuck away. Get out of there. If you get rejected by a girl and you start feeling anger, nigga, just walk away. Get the fuck out of there. Go outside, have a smoke. Go do something, bro. But the last thing you need to do is having that revolving door in your mind thinking like, oh, what? And then now that thought is one thing that I've learned from Dr. Phil, I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it is that your mind is like a revolving door, right? Once you have a positive thought, your mind is going to repeat that thought thousands of times without you even know, in your subconscious, without you even knowing. That's why people say it's good to tell yourself words of affirmation in the morning. You can do this, you're good, you're worth it, da-da-da, because then throughout your day, whenever an obstacle comes, you know it's easier for you to handle, like wax on, wax off, you're getting rid of that shit. It's easier for you to handle these certain situations because of that fact. So when it comes down to it, me personally, I don't agree with the whole getting angry, using your anger to then be like, well, if I feel like this, then everyone needs to feel like this, or I'm gonna cause harm. And like, what are we doing here? Anyways, men, if you get rejected by a woman, leave the situation. Women, if your man cheats on you, leave the nigga. There's so many other ways to be petty besides getting him killed. And if that is the father of your children, the mother of your children, think about your kids. When your kid gets older, your kid's not going to give a fuck about whether like the parents are still together. They want to know, okay, I can go talk to dad, I can go talk to mom whenever. Not mom got dad killed, or mom or dad killed mom, and then now the kid's fucked up. Like, so that means like half the time I'm looking at shit, I'm like, yo, do these guys even give a damn about their kids? They don't. They don't. One guy gets backdoored, the next guy cannot handle rejection. Both of them are fucking cowards in my book. Both of them are the worst, despicable human beings. Anyways, there's that, and then I know like this podcast is a little bit it's on the what's the word called? It's on the little bit trigger warning side, but I had to. These are the topics that I have to talk about in terms of it. Just these are things that I personally care about. I don't like seeing shit like this. I don't like seeing spiteful people that can't handle rejection, and people that are just so spiteful that they'll get into their feelings, get someone killed, and then now what? What point did you prove by getting that person killed is what I'm trying to understand. What did you gain and what did you prove? That's it. What did you gain and what did you prove? You're in jail now for life. One guy, you're in jail, you're never going to get no girls ever again. So you better get used to men. The other girl, you're gone. So now you can't even get another man to even feel so protective on. And now your child is an orphan, basically. You're in jail for like, she has a mugshot, so clearly she got arrested for this shit. You're in jail for being accessory to murder, right? So you might get like 5-10 years, whatever. Now your kid is going to be in a foster home or maybe next of kin, hopefully, if your family is decent enough to take care of the kid, which most cases, yes. Some cases, no. So it's just, you just created a whole string. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between, like, I get it. I get the whole being mature thing, but it has to. I don't think it's like a mature thing, because me, when I was that age, when I was like younger, I would not even think to set someone up like that. Even if I wasn't fucking with that person, or that person did some shit to me, I'm not gonna go to his enemy and try to get him set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had that type of mentality to do that type of shit, because it's evil behavior, man. It's evil. So we're gonna do one more topic, And after this topic, we're finito because I have to go to work. Okay. Now, we're going to end it on a positive note. So, we're going to end this on a positive note because it's Ramadan Kareem, and I want to end it on a positive note. Brother Lil Jon has joined Islam. He's accepted Islam as his religion, as his faith. So we're going to give him a round of applause. And here's the clip.
وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Alhamdulillah, we have Brother John with us today, who is ready to become a Muslim and join our ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep him firm upon the path of his obedience for the rest of his life. All right, Brother John, so to become a Muslim, you're going to take the testimony of faith, inshallah. So that means you're going to testify that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah alone, without any partner. And you're going to testify that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the servant and the final messenger of Allah. Are you ready to do this, inshallah? All right, so we're going to say it in Arabic first, and you repeat after me. Then we'll say it in English as well, all right? So repeat after me.
Now, you guys have to hear this. This is good, positive stuff. Oh, there you go, about the mic and mic.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I testify that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah alone, without partner. And I testify that Muhammad is his servant and final messenger. Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Congratulations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you firm upon the path of his obedience. Congratulations, brother. Welcome to the community. Barakallahu feek. May Allah bless.
Yep. We got another one. We got another one to join the club. So, Lil Jon is now Muslim. So, shout out to Lil Jon. He has joined the club. Yeah. Yo, I was not expecting that. I think he did it like first day of Ramadan, I think that's when he converted, which is kind of the perfect time to convert. If you really want to convert and like know what's going on, if you really want to convert and get like see the essence of Islam, is Ramadan. That is the best time. Because you talk to every Muslim during Ramadan is literally on a cloud. Every Muslim that's fasting properly during Ramadan, all they want is good vibes, good energy. Bro, I'm biking, right? And I could tell, let's see a lady with a hijab. And I'm stopping so she can pass. She's telling me to go in front of her. Now, I'm in the middle of the road. So I'm like, okay, thank you, because I'm going to pass through. But just like that, I'm in the middle of the road. I stopped so she could go through. And she's like, no, you go. And I don't just do it to just the Muslims. I do it to everybody. I don't discriminate. Anybody, whatever race, culture, religion you are, I'll stop, let you go first. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes, we're human beings. So we might get a little bit irritated. But because you're fasting, you're supposed to always keep it positive. Always keep it halal. All right? So that was our show for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and everything. There's not really... I have a bunch of other topics, but we're going to save that for the next pod. This pod was all about the bullshit. Quiet on set and rejection. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. Let's see. What should I call this episode? You know what I mean? I'm thinking of calling it Quiet on Rejection, or I don't you know what I mean? Control your emotions or you'll regret it. There we go. Control your emotions or you'll regret it. You know what I mean? But anyways, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay tuned. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Love and peace. You already know what to do. What it is, man. You already know. And that's it, man.